Hi and welcome to another one. Yeah, I feel like I don't have very much to say. You all know what this is about. I don't have too many to talk about this time. If you compare it with last time, I had tons of titles and I kind of had to rush it. This time I didn't feel like doing that, so I don't have as many to talk about. I could have waited and included more, but I'm just gonna maybe talk a little bit more about them. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, first up is Inside Llewyn Davis. Can't speak today. Yeah, this is a Savi ultra limited steelbook. Well, it is ultra limited, but yeah. Anyway, this is the new Coen Brothers movie, by the way, which most people will know. But it's about the folk music scene in somewhere Greenwich Village of 1961, before Dylan came along and changed everything. I don't know much about the scene, but that's where the Coen Brothers wanted the movie to take place. And it's about this Llewyn Davis guy. The actor is a musician, so he's able to play all these songs himself on his guitar, and he has a very nice vocals. And he's also a great actor, and he did a very good job. He sort of navigates the scene, trying to well, he doesn't really, he's jumping between places where he lives. He stays with friends and stuff. And it's a good movie. Mainly the thing that I liked about it is a little, kind of like in the middle of the movie, the tone of the movie kind of changes completely. He's going to this, he's going somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but he's sort of hitchhiking. He's catching a lift or whatever with John Goodman and another character, and throughout this trip where he goes from Greenwich Village, I can't pronounce it, to this place where he's going to meet some sort of record producer or something, because he wants to get signed or whatever. On his way there, the mood, the atmosphere of the movie just changes entirely, and it becomes almost like something that David Lynch would do. Obviously David Lynch, he makes movies that are really out there. I'm not comparing it to Mulholland Drive or Eraserhead or something like that. I mean, nothing really happens that is even remotely supernatural. Nothing happens which you might interpret as something like that. But somehow they still manage to create a kind of surrealistic atmosphere, which is a really cool thing how they managed to do that. And that sequence to me is the best sequence in the movie. Very well filmed, especially on these dark roads, and just I'm using the word atmosphere a lot, but the atmosphere is really effective, and how they managed to achieve that is really cool. And yeah, that sequence made the movie for me, I think. Yeah, I recommend the movie. It was a good watch. And then the other Blu-ray, before I only have DVDs, is I wouldn't say a disappointment, because I wasn't really expecting this to be great, but I was expecting to enjoy it a little bit more. And it's a World War C. I don't know what to say about this. It felt you didn't really get a very good idea of what was happening to begin with maybe it's what they were going for, but I just feel like they missed something there. I don't know. And then the big problem with this is, well, there is one big over-the-top scene in I don't remember where it was, but it's I'm gonna write it here because I don't know, but it's a big scene here, over-the-top scene, zombie invasion invading this city, which was very over-the-top. The zombies, the way they act, it's like not really like anything that I've seen before, because they go absolutely berserk. It's like I don't know. Definitely feels like something is controlling them. They're not in control of their bodies. They're just going berserk. And that was a little over the top, but I thought that the scene worked because it was just a cool scene. So I didn't really mind that aspect. But after that, the movie gets very slow, and the scene where Brad Pitt sort of needs to find this cure, I guess you could say, it's very slow and very generic, and it feels like something out of a Walking Dead episode. And to me that's not a good thing, because I don't like The Walking Dead too much. And this was even weaker than The Walking Dead. If comparing a movie to a TV show might not be the best way of comparing things, but I don't know, I think it works as a comparison bit, because it definitely made me think of The Walking Dead. I don't know. I didn't like the movie that much, I can't say. Yeah, that's it. Next one is Combat Shock, which I watched yesterday. There is a poster of this. This poster is more accurate. But this is a very good poster, or a good cover. Definitely, you know, it definitely represents the movie well. But there is another poster which makes it look like some sort of action movie or a Rambo ripoff or something. And it's not like that at all. It's extremely low budget. I think it was made for maybe $40,000, and so the production value is really not much to speak of. The picture and audio quality very low, and the way it's filmed, it's just overall it's not an enjoyable experience. It's not a movie that you would typically, well, that most people would enjoy watching. But it's like the director said, this is a great release, it has a bunch of special features. So it's like the director said in one of those interviews on the special features, that it might not be a movie that you enjoy watching, but after you've seen it you're kind of happy that you sat through the whole thing. And while I don't think this was a good movie, I agree. Why don't I think it's a good movie? Well, like I said, with a movie I usually need something more than just a good concept. The movie is a great concept. I mean, it's obvious what they're trying to do with the movie, and with the ending, it's very effective, and the movie gets its point across, you know, no problem. But I just need something more. I need something nice to look at. I need good acting, good dialogue, or a good production values, good cinematography, something, and it just doesn't have any of that. It has some good production value or whatever, like The Baby I thought looked very creepy. The director also said that he thought that was a little bit too much, but I thought it worked well, just because it was too much. The last scene also was pretty well made, but other than that, it's just a very boring movie. I kind of struggled to sit through it, and I don't know. It is a very, I'll read some quotes from the back. It says, raw, nightmarish and absolutely devastating. Like a bullet to the head, makes you want to slit your wrists. A few examples. Yeah, it's a downer. It's a very, very gritty movie. Very disturbing and daring, I guess, and controversial. It's not a movie, like I said, that you'll enjoy watching, but it's one that that made me think a little bit. Yeah, so I can't say I liked it as a good movie, but I can appreciate it. Anyway, then this movie, Knife in the Water by Roman Polanski. I actually bought this last summer. I still haven't, well, I've seen it now, but it took me until now to finally sit down and watch it. Yeah, this is basically about a married couple. They're going out to their boat, to their sailing boat or whatever it's called, and they're gonna have a nice afternoon, evening, and night on their boat on the ocean. Just a nice, quiet time. And on their way, they pick up a hitchhiker, and of some reason, which I never really understood, they decide to bring him along on the boat, and sort of a triangle drama, well. Between the three of them, between the male hitchhiker and the male and female couple, develops. And there's a very interesting rivalry between the two of them, which kind of the cover hints at, the two men. And it's well filmed. It sort of seamlessly flows by. There are a few hints that there is a director and that there is a crew, because there are some bloopers. I mean, you can see the railing or whatever. Maybe really well. You can see the side of the boat that the crew is on filming. You can see the wake, the water after the boat that the crew is on, for example, at a couple instances. But except for that, it's really well made, and it doesn't feel like it's directed. It's not that palpable that it's been directed, if you know what I mean, and that's a good thing in this case, because overall good movie, definitely very slow, not much happens, and to me no really satisfying conclusion maybe, but it is a good movie, definitely worth watching. Let's see, this is called The Last Emperor. I would have preferred to watch this on Blu-ray because it's a very grand and epic, or maybe not epic, but it's a grand. There was a good word that someone used. I don't remember. Panoramic might have been, maybe not. It's just visually looks good, and the scope of the movie is very effective and everything. So because of that, I feel like I should have seen it on Blu-ray. I might do that eventually, but I just felt like watching this movie. It's by Bernardo Bertolucci, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's sort of divided onto two parts. The first part is in the Forbidden City. If you don't know what it's about, then maybe I'm taking too much for granted, but I'm not going to explain the plot. But first part is in the Forbidden City. Second part is more about chronology outside of the city, and it has a lot of stuff, a lot more political and a lot less memorable and enjoyable. So I have a problem with politics because yeah, it's complicated, but it also bores me, to be perfectly frank. But yeah, so maybe that's part of the reason why I enjoyed the first part the most, because it was more of a character study, more psychological, I thought, and I enjoyed that part the most, and also visually good looking. Overall a good movie, and I'd recommend it, but I'd recommend to watch it on Blu-ray, because the quality of this doesn't do the movie justice, I feel. Then we have Burn, Hollywood Burn. Yeah, an Alan Smithy film or something. Yeah, it says here, an Alan Smithy film. First of all, Alan Smithy is a sort of like an official pseudonym or whatever, created way back in the 70s or something, that directors could use if they weren't satisfied with their movie. They could put the name Alan Smithy as the director because they don't want anything to do with the movie. So they credited the director was credited as Alan Smithy. In this movie, I thought that the concept or premise or whatever sounded very clever, because Eric Idle plays someone whose name is Alan Smithy, and he's making a movie and he's not happy with the movie, but the only pseudonym available is Alan Smithy, and that's his name, so he can't change it to anything else. And I thought that sounded funny, so I definitely wanted to pick this up. But I could not sit through this movie. I watched maybe half an hour and I had to turn it off. It's horrible. It just consists of interviews with fictional people, but also actors and celebrities playing themselves, and they're just talking about basically Eric Idle's character. He's a director, or he was mainly an editor or something in the movie, but he steals his movie, and it's about them trying to find out what happened, or they're explaining what happened to the viewer, mockumentary type thing. I really did not enjoy it, so I can't talk about it in detail, but as you noticed, but no, I couldn't sit through it, unfortunately. Then we got a bit of a Stephen Fry special. I'll end it with that, I think. We have, first of all, Last Chance to See, Return of the Rhino. I've talked about this one before. Last Chance to See. It's basically Stephen Fry along with a zoologist called Mark Cawardine. They go on a trip to explore endangered animals and species, and they do it in a way that, the same way that Mark Cawardine 20 years previously did with Douglas Adams, the writer of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And yeah, since then, I guess maybe Stephen Fry was friends with Douglas Adams or something, but 20 years later, Stephen Fry does the same trip with Mark Howardine to visit the same animals and to sort of give an update on some of these animals, what happened to them and what their situation is now and stuff. Anyway, this documentary, it's kind of like that series has like 6 episodes each exploring one species. This one is sort of like a 7th episode, which is more of like a sequel to one particular episode of that show, more so than the whole series, because one of the animals in that show was a black rhino, and they sort of declared in that episode, I think, that the black rhino was tragically extinct. Or tragic. Well, I guess it's kind of tragic when a species is declared extinct. But in this movie, or in this documentary, this feature, I guess they found a place where they had black rhinos somewhere in, let's see, well, somewhere in Europe, Middle Eastern Europe-ish. They had a place with rhinos. And so they followed the episode up with this one, where they're basically trying to transport these rhinos from Europe back to Africa, to a more natural habitat, where they will subsequently try to get the rhinos under protection so that poachers won't try to take their horns again, or whatever they're called. Under protection, they want the rhinos to start breeding and maybe develop the race, because there are not a lot of them left. So that's what this is, and it doesn't have the same sort of feeling as that show does. Yeah, it's been a while since I saw it, so I don't remember exactly how I was. I know that I had an explanation, but I can't remember it now. That's the problem when you wait so long to talk about a title. Anyway, I thought it was interesting, and if you've, I don't think many people have, but if you have seen this miniseries, I'd recommend checking this 7th part out. Like I said, I talked way more this time than in the last one, but anyway, the last title here is, like I said, Stephen Fry special, Stephen Fry in America. This won't take as long to talk about, because basically what this is just Stephen Fry going, he's visiting every state, and he's doing something in every state of America which is characteristic or whatever for that state, something which that state is famous for, or maybe something which a certain city in that state is known for. So he does one activity, or meets one person in every state and does something in every state. And so yeah, he goes to 50 places basically, and it's 375 minutes. So he doesn't have a whole lot of time in every state, but it's definitely the stuff he's doing is diverse. There a lot of history involved, so there's a lot of educational value to this, but there's also a lot of entertaining stuff, which, you know, Stephen Fry. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I wish that there was more with Stephen Fry, like these 2 series here. But there doesn't seem to be that much more, like, as far as travel documentaries go with Stephen Fry. There doesn't seem to be that much more, which I think is too bad, because I really enjoyed watching both of these miniseries here. But yeah, that's basically it. Now I am tired of hearing myself talking, so I'm gonna stop it here. Yeah, only 8 titles this time, but I think that's what I used to. I think that's about the amount of titles that I used to talk about in every video. So it's like, yeah, it's like it was before, I guess. But yeah, that's it. Now I'm going to get my workout done well. And when I get home, hopefully there are gonna be more packages that has come in through the mail slot waiting for me, and I'm going to make a rather big unboxing video. I've got some packages here, and so this is not the last video of today, or not the only video of today. Anyway, so you can expect that unboxing video to be uploaded in a couple of days at the very most. So yeah, that is it, and thank you very much for watching.